well, anyhow.
It works different ways.
Under
It
the
all depends on the district.
Under the Constitution, you can be sworn in
folks.
by anybody.
Hey folks, welcome back to a brand new
Hey.
show, the Trailer Park Show. It's a fun time. It's Monday and we're a little humid, but it's all good. So as you can see, we've got a register to vote with our LULAC sign. So so we're going to be talking a little bit about LULAC today. But let's go ahead and do the round of introductions. We got Pokey over here across from me.
Right.
We have Gavino Fernandez from what is the official title with LULAC? I keep on forgetting that part.
Well, for right now, LULAC District 12 Director.
You're the metaphor going for District 12.
Yes.
We'll just put that.
Outgoing.
Yeah.
We also have
So there we have a
Adela
new
Tanner,
one.
who
We
is
got
who's,
we
who's,
elected a new one.
oh, cool.
Fidel Acevedo, who said he could be here. He may be here. He may
My
be
buddy
dropping
Ace.
by. Yeah, your buddy Ace.
Nice.
He'll be serving as the new District 12 Director.
Excellent, excellent. We also have Adela Tanner, who has been newly crowned as the TCRP Outreach Director, Community Outreach Director. And of course, we have our guest here, which is Marcelo Tafoya, who's the state,
Deputy State.
The Deputy
Texas
State
Deputy-
I'm sorry?
Texas Deputy State Director for LULAC.
There you go. I know I'm going to
So
keep
many
on messing with it.
acronyms.
Yes. And then there's, so, we've got some announcements, I guess, that we want to do, and then we want to jump in to talk a little bit about what LULAC is doing in regards to the state.
Let me
Legislation.
let me
Go
start with mine first. Chad Lawson, right here, if you're watching. Come on down here, folks. You can get a shell. There's a kids camp coming up. I had it all written down, but I don't know what I wrote it down on. And there's a big program coming up next door here at Austin Freenet. Just look on there. If I sent you a flyer, it's on there. And next week, right here, we'll have Cheryl Rees. She's a deputy voter registrar trainer. She's going to be, she can't do it live on air, but she's going to be here in the studio at 6 o'clock to do it. If you want to become a deputy voter registrar, we still got like 3 seats left. So you better call in a hurry.
Or if it has expired.
If it's
They've all expired, I think.
No, I said, but if they've expired as well, come on down when you.
Exactly.
you need
Mine's
to get
expired, and
renewed.
I need to get my Cesar Chavez routine again.
Oh, you get your all right, 10 vote, yeah.
Yes. My goal is obviously to register voters and have a national holiday named after me.
Well, 10-4, and then Cheryl's going to hang around. And if you took the class, you can come on TV too and tell us, what you think about being a VDR and how you think what you want to be one for, or whatever you want. And Cheryl Reeves will be on TV too to answer any questions or tell us about what it's like being a VDR. She's been on for a long time now. She's good.
I'm still kind of disappointed that Bruce isn't coming, but that's okay.
Well, I'm working on Bruce because on a week or two afterwards is going to be the Travis County Republican Party Executive Committee meeting.
Right?
It's going to have one, and I've asked if we can't get Bruce Elfont to come to that one.
Nice.
Getting my
luck-
old
good luck
buddy
with
Bruce
that
Elfont around and surrounded by Republicans. That would be real
Good
good.
luck with that one. I can just see the photo op on that one.
Yeah, that would be good. All right, go ahead.
No, y'all gonna be where y'all gonna be at this?
Oh,
coming weekend?
Sunday
Yeah.
at what have I been smoking? It ain't even legal yet. This Sunday, that's right. The Travis County Republican Party will have a booth at the Secret de Mayo Festival at Fiesta Shores, Sunday the 3rd. Come on down and see us, folks. It's a big community event. There's lots of music, lots of food. But I think they put our booth a long way from the beer booth. So what's that all about?
I think they know
I
you
guess
were
they know
coming.
you're coming.
I was
They
about
knew
to say, we're
They knew
probably
you were
waiting for
coming,
everybody.
And after our experience at Applebee's, I think it's probably for the best.
Oh, you had to read that up. That was mild compared to some of them.
True, but
But
still.
I have my walker, I guess. So I guess I can't walk that far even with the walker.
You can sneak them under there and under a blanket.
Yeah, 10-4, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be
All
good
right.
to be there. Sunday,
Yeah.
the 3rd, Fiesta Shores.
Fiesta Shores. Now there is an admission fee. We can't say how much, but just to
It's
let
not
you know.
much.
Just to let you know, because this is it's a nonprofit, and one of the events that they put on is the Turkey Thanksgiving dinner at Pan Am, which is an annual event.
They're a good bunch.
So Velasquez is a Fiestas Patrias corporate nonprofit.
Right.
But two very important issues have come up now that we're in the summer and going into the city budget. The city budget.
You're scratching your mic, by the way.
Okay.
On your neck.
As the city budget discussions begin,
There you go. You can use that one. There you go. That's
you know, the, the city
That's
is.
all right, you're taking the other one off.
City's already beginning to throw out items that they want to cut for the coming budget. And one of those that reached us recently is that the Parks and Recreation Department is proposing to shut down Met swimming pool.
Really?
So there's going to be a meeting Wednesday at Met's Recreation Center at 6 p.m. We invite any of those that are live in or around the area or anyone that's just in strong support of keeping swimming pools open, especially during the summer. This swimming pool caters to Santa Rita courts, caters to Chalmers courts. It's much closer than the Martin pool. I mean, my God, we have a $2 billion budget. This is piecemeal budget cutting that has
This
a
is a
negative
drop in the
impact.
bucket.
So now,
What
where
part of
is
Austin
it?
is it
Yeah,
located?
where's
East
this located?
Austin, East Austin, 2407 Canterbury.
It's not far from Fiesta Shores.
Right next to the old former Holly Power Plant that my
Yeah,
buddy
yeah,
here wanted
yeah.
to save and whatnot, but
Yeah, I wanted to save it,
we're
and now look
beyond
what
that.
happened.
We're beyond that
Now look what happened. They're going to close on a pool.
Yeah, just
so-
because you had to move that
Yeah,
power
because
plant,
we
they're gonna
close
close
the
that
power
pool.
plant, we're gonna close our pool. But anyway, that's
We used to battle over that for a long time.
That's one of the items that just popped up. We are asking the city to go ahead and put a comprehensive plan process for Cesar Chavez Street.
Oh, you are?
Yes, we'll be going before the planning committee, planning commission, and tomorrow there's a meeting. So we just want to make sure that people stay involved and stay on top of things because the Holly Power Plant, they want to get an extension on a permit that they have, but they haven't met with us in the last 2 months, and they just want us to. We've asked for a postponement, and they
I wish we
kind
could play you reading the riot act at City Hall down there that day.
Oh,
Where can we find that? I didn't bring it with
that
us.
was on YouTube. No, you. Where
Well,
did
no,
you put
we,
it?
we loaded it up onto Facebook on El Concilio de
El
East
Concilio?
Austin.
Yeah, El Concilio de
So
East
if you go to Facebook and type in El Concilio de East Austin, you'll be able to see Gavino warning City Council about their inactions. So
So-
He's threatening to
is
bring the
not-
Brown Rays back.
You weren't thrown out?
No. Why was
Almost.
it not thrown out?
Who knows?
Oh, because it was citizens communication.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
And
It was
you
citizens
barely went over your 3 minutes, so they didn't
Yeah.
get too upset.
But anyway, that's what I wanted to mention and make sure everybody was on top of that, and hope we get people out there too. And that's why we had single geographic districts. Someone said, "Well, Pio set a meeting and didn't show up, and we're gonna wait till Monday." I said, "Why wait till Monday? He lives right across the street from Martin Middle School. Why wait till
Middle house.
Monday?
So is it
Go
his
there and
district?
find out."
It's his district or
His district, his
Oh,
district, his district. That's why we fought for geographic
What's he hiding from
districts.
his sister or
I
what?
don't know what he's hiding from, but it took 2 meetings before he met with groups from our neighborhood association. So, but that's kind of like a discouragement
Discouraging.
tactic.
Yeah.
But we need,
Oh,
but anyway, that's it.
Excellent,
My
excellent.
end of my-
But
Well,
the
we-
good thing for you though is that so many people ran in District 3 that if
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't get your councilman's help,
We'll
you
get a
had
sister in
it
there
was like
next time.
12 other candidates.
Well, you would think so. Hell, I hadn't seen none of them in the last.
There's a few that are still pretty
I
active.
think there's 2 that are pretty active. Jose Varelas, they're pretty active in the community, being engaged, that I can think of. And the other, well, Joe Quintero, but he's a natural, He's a natural neighborhood. He's president of one of our neighborhood associations, the Greater East Austin.
Excellent.
So those 2 have stayed engaged.
That's good to know.
In the neighborhood.
Cool. Cool.
right.
Well, we've got Marcelo Tafoya, who's here with us with LULAC, and we wanted to talk a little bit about what LULAC is doing in regards to legislation here in the state of Texas. I believe it's primarily education, and we'll let you go ahead and if possible, introduce yourself. I'm not sure. Have you been on the show here before?
Oh,
Like ages.
it's been a
How
while.
come you haven't brought him on sooner? What's wrong?
ooh,
Man.
I don't know. He used to take me all the Democrat parties, though. No, that was Ace.
Yeah.
So you were there too, but Ace used to like.
Well, if possible, there's plenty of people that may not remember or may have not seen you for a
And the
while.
session's still going on, so
Yeah.
there might be issues where we may need people to go testify, especially on that one you're pushing, that medical marijuana one.
Oh, that's my people, yeah.
that's my people.
My party, my people. Sometimes my people means my party. Sometimes my people means white folks.
Trailer Park Wi-Fi.
We know
Trailer
how
park
it is.
white folks.
Well, first of all, my name is Marcelo Tafoya. I'm Deputy State Director for Texas LULAC. For those that don't understand, I'm the Lieutenant Governor of Texas LULAC.
Nice.
We've been working the legislature in different issues, depending if it was beneficial for our community or not. But I have the Lieutenant Governor's last report on bills. SB 1, which is a property tax relief through doubling the homestead exemption, has passed the Senate. SB 2, conservative budget for $4.5 billion in tax relief for significant funding of border security. SB 3, border security, passes out of the committee that enabled to give the DPS more time and more hours to do their job at the border. And for example, other bills that have been passed is, for example, hold on, I got it. SB 10, removal of public removal of public integrity unit from Travis County, and make elected officials more accountable for their voters in their area. And then SB 11, allowing campus carry on CHL holders. SB 12, transferring state government vouchers to natural gas over the next decade, saving taxpayers millions of dollars in fuel costs, creating jobs, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the typical format. Also, let's see, SB 13, funds for workforce development programs, and then SB 14, this parental empowerment bill, allowing parents to repurpose failing schools. Now, there is a existing bill there that permits them to do it within a 5-year period. And in other words, if a school is failing for 5 years, they can, they have to have 51% signature of the parents in that school to refurbish it or change it or do anything with it. Well, so what they're asking is they reduced it. We were asking for 2 years, they went ahead with 3 years, meaning that if a school fails for 3 years, then they can petition, and now it's gonna take another year before that happens, so it's gonna be a total of 4 years, like it or not. So this is one thing also that is occurring, in fact, tomorrow, is that the House of Representatives has not moved on it, and apparently they don't want to bring it out in the open for some reason. So, and what we're asking is that, that's called the trigger law anyhow. It's SB 14 on the Senate House, HB 1727 in the House side. And what we're going to, there's going to be a meeting tomorrow where we're going to be asking the community to come out and help us, because there's going to be a very special meeting set up. And let me get that for you all, so you'll know more about what that meeting is all about. And here it is. It's the very first meeting that's going to take place is going to be between 10:30 and 10:45 with the House Speaker Strauss in room 3W9 at the state capitol. We'd like to have as many people to come down and voice their opinion over this one bill. And then the second meeting will be at 1 p.m. with the committee chair, Babcock, at the office of GW18. Between these two meetings, there will probably be a press conference at the with Dan Patrick, Senator Taylor, and Representative Duncan, joining the parents and all of you who will attend. The problem is that the House Educational Committee has refused to hold a hearing on SB 14. We have until May 5th for the House Public Educational Committee to hear SB 14 if the chairman of the committee, Mr. Babcock, does not place it on the calendar for a hearing. So we're asking the community to come down and support us, asking him to please put it on so that we can have a hearing and we can discuss it. And the whole premise for that is that it's parent empowerment. The parents should have a right to empower themselves over the schools where their children go to. And in many cases, they don't. We have several cases in East Austin where a school was failing. They had brought in a charter school, and then they kicked that charter school out of that school. And then when the parents were getting mad and were getting ready to do something about it, they closed the school and moved our children.
Convenient.
So that's, yes, very convenient. And that's the game that they play, which is not a game for me when it comes to the education of our children. Our children comes first. And there is a buku of other bills. For example, the bill that they discussed very thoroughly on the children from Mexico. They call them, what do they call them, coming? Anyhow.
Oh, the Dreamers? No,
The
not
Dreamers, yeah, the
The
Dreamers.
Dreamers,
What
the
happens?
tuition?
Yeah, what happens is that a senator from San Marcos, New Braunfels, kept claiming, she brought up a bill saying that the Dreamers take the money away from our children.
Senator Campbell.
Well,
Donna Campbell. Oh,
Donna
that's
Not
Donna
our friend,
Campbell.
my friend Donna Campbell.
Yeah.
And then what happened is that they brought evidence, they brought proof where the Dreamers only take less than 2% of the total money spent for the university. And they bring in like 5 to 6 times the amount of money that they take. So by denying them the right for receiving these funds, they are also denying the right for these children who came here when they were 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and not any of their fault, to come here and seek a better education. Now, when they came here, they had no idea, I suppose, they were going to go to college, but by being here and becoming literally American citizens, they have no other outlet. And I'll give you one good example that was told to me. In Mexico, in Baja California, a friend of mine told me all of a sudden that he started seeing some children there, homeless. They had no parents there. They could barely speak Spanish, but they were good English-speaking children. And they wonder what happened. They said, well, they deported us because we don't have any papers. We don't have a home. We don't have a family here. We have no idea, what Mexico is all about. And so what happened is that the cartels start picking them up and having them sell drugs to the visitors that come down. So in other words, this is what we're going to be doing to our children, because many of them, if they do get sent back to Mexico, have no ties to Mexico at all because their parents are here.
Their parents don't go with them?
No,
No,
no.
Let me clarify a couple of
Expand,
things
expand.
on the trigger bill, not the Dreamers.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit confused. If I'm not
Yeah, there's
mistaken,
a lot of
if I'm
confusion
not
on the Dreamers.
mistaken, it's not an issue of academics in the sense of, well, because you're an undocumented, you're gonna get a higher priority in getting into UT.
No.
That's not the issue.
Right.
Okay? People, that's not the issue. The
In-state tuition and all that?
is the tuition.
Yeah.
So for my friend, Senator,
We found our missing.
Oh, boy, come on in here, Ace.
Be careful of the
so,
courts.
so,
Be careful of the courts down here.
so my friend,
Go over that way.
Oh,
by,
pull his cord up right
Put
here.
him over here by
Put him by the pretty girl.
Come on, Ace. Put him right in here.
you can fit in here? Or,
Yeah, he can fit in here. Yeah, we got that big fella.
okay, and
Alright.
so,
It's okay.
so my
Sorry about all
senator,
that
I mean,
noise,
my
people.
friend,
Adela Tanner, very good to see you.
your friend, our Senator Campbell, in her deliberations on this particular bill,
Thank you, Mom.
mentioned about, children from Texas were being denied and were being kind of
Yeah,
like
and
put in
Dreamers are
second
getting
place.
it.
But see, it's only the money part. I thought it was the academics. I
Yeah.
mean, because
Oh.
of this, they didn't get to go in because, we cater to this particular student.
Well, they're getting
But-
in-state tuition the way I heard it, and
But-
they're
So
Dreamers. They're,
it's telling you one thing. Why is it that there's a big number of Dreamers qualifying to go to a major institution as opposed to those that were born and raised and educated here?
Because they got
That's
talent.
right.
They got talent.
You
That's
know,
what it is.
Okay, so, now here's the other one, school choice. And I'm getting there. It is germane, like y'all say.
Yes.
School choice, parents and everything, at a very young age.
Yeah.
Your party.
10-4.
Advocates, strong advocates of
Our
it.
people, yeah.
You know that the majority of the students in charter schools throughout the state of Texas are undocumented students.
I know, and
That is
Here
very
in Austin,
evident
most of
here
them
in
are, yeah.
Austin, Texas. So.
same way across the state, is that
I
right?
pleaded your folks to continue the support all the way and not stop it and say, all right, right here.
Once you get out of high school, they won't stop, so
Well,
you can't go
no,
to college
once out
now.
of high school, it becomes you know, we don't wanna share with you no more.
Actually, I'm glad that you brought that up because I had a meeting with James Dickey, our TCRP chairman, and he actually wants, we actually now have, you just joined the conversation. I'm the Latino Hispanic Outreach Director for TCRP, and we have an African American Outreach Director.
We're
So
moving
that's
out up the
two-
world lately.
That's two very
Party, party.
disenfranchised groups that, and James Dickey has said, like Gabriel has said before, we don't want to just set them up for just school. And Mr. Hernandez, the vice principal of Austin County Academy, has said a lot of them do not believe in college because they're first timers and they're either here illegally or their families here illegally. So I like that you touched on that because James has already said, our county chairman has said, we need to set up something. We need to work with local minority groups and at-risk groups so that we can create just the hope that there is college. Because I know for me, I was the first one to step foot into a college, and I'm, you know, my mom's one of 20, and only 4 of those graduated high school, and none of them, only I think 2 went to college. So it's as a culture, it is not something, and I'm sure maybe y'all can agree with me that it isn't something that we strive for. We are like dirt of the earth people. We wear our stress on our backs, on our shoulders. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so I want to be able to show boys and girls there's not just having babies and working at McDonald's and working fields, because my abuelito raised my uncles to work the fields. Times have changed, and I'm glad that college is an option from generations past that is actually promoted from older generations, because there's a lot of disconnect with my elders and myself, or my generation, because they don't say please, they don't say thank you. Generations of that, they just don't know the value of a earned dollar. And I think with the Dreamers, and because I went to college and seeing some of the Dreamers getting their money, I do think to myself, I wish that I had that kind of financial aid. But at the same time, it's like what you don't have and you have it, you work harder for it because you don't have it. And I can't say that I want to give or take anything away. That's totally beyond this conversation. But we do have to understand that these are still youth, and that to give them the opportunity to an education, whether they are here legally or illegally, is such a logistical mess. But
So
to want to learn.
To turn to something simple real quick, do we give them in-state tuition or not?
I
I think.
As a partner.
No, you go ahead.
I think that some of my idea would be to take from this Texas State Lottery Commission and give to education. I'm not sure exactly how to break that down logistically, and I'd probably set off like a whole hornet's nest somewhere.
Well,
But I mean, my point is that there's areas to take from.
Well, there's money there.
Well, look at
Yeah,
this.
there's,
Look
or,
at this.
or at least help a lot
No.
more find scholarship help that does exist.
No, in the testimony given, there is plenty of money.
Yeah.
Oh.
Money is not the question, is should we give it or not? See, that was the whole premise of the whole thing. But the fact is that, for example, 36% of our children that graduate do not qualify to go to college. They can't pass the entrance exam. But then why should you use that against the Dreamers? Now the Dreamers, all of them graduated high school with honors and with high grades. So they work hard to get in. And it's not easy to get into college, as you all know. But bringing back a little history that she said, in our culture, the fact is that you can't go to college because we can't afford it.
yeah.
See, the affordability is one of our biggest problems that we have with our children. But you know, when you go down, for example, in the summers that we had, one of the questions that the parents were bringing is, all I need to know is how can my children receive grants? So we made a point of getting somebody to deal strictly with grants in our school, okay? But so what I'm saying is that the question is not, should I want to go to college? I think they all dream of it someday, but this obstacle there of affordability, you know, and where am I going to go? Okay, we tell them, hey, if nothing else, go to ACC. Go to a community college of your choice and get your basics. Then you can jump into college. In the meantime, you can work to get these grants, you see? So
Sure.
these are the things that we're fighting for more than anything else.
And ACC actually works with local Travis, I don't know if
With
it's
high
just
school,
they,
schools, yeah.
where they go to school for free
right.
and get dual credit,
Right,
college credit,
exactly.
while they go to high
But,
school.
but see, for your party, presidential election coming up here in Texas, it would be a good strategy to
To
leave the youngins alone, because
Support the
there
dreamers.
are some Republicans that came out against the bill. They had a press conference
did.
at the state
that
capitol.
right?
There were Republicans, businessmen that were opposed.
I know you want to jump in there, Ace. Hold on, it's coming.
That were opposed to the bill. And they held a press conference. But
So
again,
my party's divided on
well,
it.
but again, hey, I'll support your border funding. Leave these boys alone.
But your
these
governor
girls.
voted for it, for the DREAM Act.
Well, it was Perry.
I do know. I
Perry?
do.
Perry's time.
And it parried.
Well, even
Well,
even
yeah, governor.
even Abbott and
Yeah.
even Abbott and Dan Patrick are at odds
Yeah.
over
Yeah, well, Dan Patrick,
education.
I'll leave my personal comments about him
Yeah,
alone.
me too.
But anyway, following the pattern, school choice, parents' rights, and all that academic school.
Yeah.
Don't dump us off at the middle of the road.
There might as well be an
Yeah.
in-state tuition for them. They've been here all their life.
Because those
They'll probably stay here too if
we're
they.
gonna stay here because they're
where
going
are they
to
gonna
go
go?
through
Where they
the
gonna go?
process, and they're going to become registered voters. And you don't know. There may be another Mario, what's his name, Rubio, or
Yeah.
Marco
something like
Rubio.
that, Marco Rubio.
So here's an interesting question. It's something I wanted to ask you.
Okay,
But can I intervene?
Yeah, and I
was
still
gonna
want to get
say,
Ace in here too.
we're just
Right.
joined by the.
We're gonna have not enough time quickly.
The newly elected district 12 director. for
Is that
LULAC.
right? Well, you're gonna have to
And
come
the
on the show a lot
current-
more then.
And the current legislative LULAC director for
Oh, really?
at the Capitol.
Good to know. Good to
But I
know.
wanted to.
Oh no,
hear
go ahead,
your
go ahead.
question. I wanted to hear
Well,
your
welcome,
question.
Go
welcome
ahead.
to the welcome to the
Gabriel
What's your
to the show.
That's her, Chicano Limbaco. Chicano Limbaco.
Page not developed.
The page, the website's off. The website's off. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. So here's a question. I was noticing a couple bills that you had went off on. The state Senate Bill 1, 2, I think 3, 4, and then a few other ones in there. Are those the bills that LULAC is in support of?
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Okay, so of the ones that you pointed out, because there was some of them I was like, whoa, wait a minute, really? I was like, which ones is LULAC endorsing or
No,
approving of?
all the given you the rundown of what the lieutenant governor said has passed in the Senate.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, they still got to come up in the House, and then it's up to
already
us to do what needs to be done.
Gotcha. Because I was looking at some of them. I'm like, border security. I'm like, I get it, but I'm just like, I didn't picture LULAC to be as
Well, yeah, but bills like
uh,
that, you have to remember that they're going to happen anyway, because if the Republican Party wants it, they have the majority, they're going to pass it.
That's
What we can do is only try to circumvent it, or try to put some changes that
Not all of us.
That's all we can
No,
possibly do.
And here's where I want to come in.
Come in.
Please do.
Because we do work on a bipartisan effort, and here's where, as a legislative chair for the state in LULAC, we have to make an all-out effort to work both sides, and it's easy to not like some of Dan Patrick's
Or Dan
ideas.
Patrick. Or Dan Patrick, just leave that alone.
But the lieutenant governor has his agenda. He's trying to fill it. That's what he ran on, and he's trying to do his best to get it done. When it comes to education, some of the things that have passed the Senate, LULAC is not totally in favor of that, especially when it comes to vouchers. It's absolutely totally against vouchers, no matter which way you go around it. The tax credit for one, Senate Bill 4. But then you go to the Senate Bill 14, where we came out strongly for it, parent empowerment. You can call it a parent trigger, you can call it any other kind of thing, but here's where I think we know that the Republican Party is trying to reform the public education. And that can be a good thing, especially when we look at some of the problems that public education is having right now. I mean, we can continue to have failing schools for 5 years. Some go longer than that. and yet not have that parent empowerment so that they can do something about it. So we're very much in favor of that. It's coming up tomorrow, where we're going to be going to
We're gonna-
to Representative Aycock's office, as well as the Dan
I'm
Speaker
going
Strout's office.
to quickly,
Gabe Rose was with us on our show,
Right.
yeah,
on Parent Revolution, remember?
yeah.
He was here, he's also, I don't know if they're gonna be down here tomorrow or not,
They should be.
but, I know we've been emailing,
Okay.
but, yeah, it's,
Again, it's
and,
tomorrow at 10:30
and,
at Strauss's, at 3W9.
Buddy Strauss?
Yeah.
Speaker Strout's
Yes, the
office.
speaker's
So
office.
I know my good friend here will be with me, hopefully. I'm counting on you.
if,
And again, any of you
The
that want to
Yeah.
come,
best-
absolutely.
the best way to get there is to be dropped off or take Capital Metro because of parking.
Yeah.
But
And then,
once you get there, you're dropped off,
Yeah.
you know, it's easy. You
and
just
then
get
our,
around.
and then the second meeting will be with, Babcock at, let's see, what is that number?
It's the ground floor.
It's GW 18. It starts at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Anybody that's listening that would like to come and support us, we would appreciate it.
We'll also have a news bliss in one of the offices. I don't know which one, whether it'll be the House, where they have their video conference in,
And then,
or the Senate, either or.
yeah.
But there's going to be plenty of activities going on to try to move this bill forward. We just know that it has passed the Senate. It has not moved into a committee hearing on the House side, and this is where the rubber meets the road right now.
I haven't kept up, but we're running real short on time now, ain't we?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
May 5th, he said.
May-
it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
May
you
5th,
either
yeah.
hear it,
Yeah.
it dies.
Well, hold on, that's only a couple of,
Yeah,
that's a week
Cinco
away.
That's
Yeah.
that's Cinco de Mayo. I mean, which
We're gonna have maracas at that time.
May 5th, our last
Is
opportunity.
there any chance you call from the, what's that called, extended session, what's that called, where you call for
Special
the
session,
special
special
session?
session? I don't think, I don't,
I don't see any.
I don't see it coming down.
Actually, it says the House Educational Committee has between now and May 23rd to hear or pass HR 1727.
No, that's a companion bill
Yeah.
from Harold
From the House,
Dutton.
yeah.
And of course, if this one don't make it for some reason or another, then they piggyback on that one.
Yeah,
That,
But if it goes till May 23rd, then we got more than a week.
on the House.
yeah, on the House.
That's
Oh, on the House
that's
side.
on the House side. But you would rather go with what you got in hand right now. You got this bird in hand right
Yeah,
now. Let's move it
and-
forward.
and let's move it forward. If not,
The other one
we can
has
fall
Yeah.
back on that.
not moved.
So what is what does LULAC stand on? And I was trying to get
2
onto the website, and it might be, I'm sorry,
2 feet.
2 feet, yeah. 2 feet and a pile of,
Well,
and a pile
I'm
of
for
mud. And a pile of
That was
mud
a
as,
good one.
as everybody keeps on throwing more on you. Yes.
But talking Cinco de Mayo, did you see that thing I sent you on Facebook? The Hispanic,
Got the two big girls out eating.
yeah, but the Hispanic organization.
Oh, in Houston.
In Houston.
Yeah, that was
That
really,
put it
really
on the
good.
Cinco de Mayo parade, the
I
Republican,
wish,
what was
the
it? again?
Hispanic Republicans in Action, I think it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, I'm sorry.
We've met them before down here in Austin at a thing. It was real good.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
were they doing?
First time I
Cinco
met
de
David
Mayo
Zapata.
parade.
They're having a parade.
Oh, okay.
Being
And
sponsored by the
Houston, of course, is
Republicans.
a big, much bigger market, I guess you could say.
I think that's great. Anytime that the other party is reaching out to Latinos, I think it's
Give
a
'em a
great
choice.
thing. That's absolutely a great thing.
I don't know if there ever were a Hispanic outreach director before me, but I'm glad that
I don't think
At
there
one-
was
at-
much, because
I don't really know, and if there
Travis County's
if there
not that
was,
big
there
of
wasn't
a-
enough precedent set, I think, because there's nothing for me to go off of. There's nothing for me other than meeting you and meeting you and meeting you and being like, hey, I don't care how you vote. And if it makes other Republicans
Yeah,
mad,
she's gonna be better.
the Latina
wait a
coming out
minute.
of
Well,
it.
if it makes-
Better watch out.
if it makes if
Chancla.
it makes other Republicans
You wanted to vote for
mad
our
at-
people, remember?
upset with me because of how I vote, then to me that's hypocritical of anybody that tries to get people to come out and vote.
Yeah.
And you can't punish someone. Thank you. You can't punish someone. You
I
can't.
understand you gotta do
can't
your
lead the
advertising
horse-
here, but I gotta ask him a question here about this.
Yeah, go
this,
ahead.
Vouchers and all.
That one passed the Senate.
I know, and I don't understand why you wouldn't support this. I keep going back to these the Catholic parishes in these neighborhoods, Hispanic neighborhoods. They all had at one day they all had schools at them, And if you had a voucher, you could kick in a little of your own money and get your kids back in that Catholic school. Ain't nothing beats a Catholic education, at least as
Here
long
it'd
as
be,
put our
here
internet.
it'd be Santa Julia,
Would that work?
Guadalupe, Dolores.
That's what
all
put money
those
back
are-
into
they
the
have
Well,
parishes.
here's one of the arguments that
Okay.
they put
Yeah, what's
against.
the argument? That's what I wanna hear.
Okay, when you receive a voucher from the
Yeah.
state,
Yes, sir.
there comes consequences. The state is gonna require you to do certain things. And a lot of the independents don't wanna be told their curriculum or what is required by the state. So a lot of them rather not get vouchers because of that. You see, because there is something always hanging, they follow the money, you see? So these are,
So-
these are the things that are the sticky wicky.
The
as
state
they
might
say.
not want the Catholic, Catholicism.
It would be this. No,
see-
it would be this, and I can probably give you the best example.
All right,
Private schools do not do STAR.
do not
okay?
do what?
Private schools do
STAR.
not do STAR testing.
Yeah,
They don't believe in STAR.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the state says, okay, we'll give you the money, but you got to bring in STAR,
right,
which would be a big pain. In
Yeah, I would rather
anybody's
not have the
side.
money.
yeah.
Personally, I'd rather not have the money.
And that's
No,
a
no.
big, you hit it on the head.
So
That's a
if all
big
that
thing.
kind of stuff was eliminated, it would be all right.
And then if you go, say how much is per student is it gonna get, like Senator Campbell says? You
Yeah.
know, take it with you, take it
Yeah.
with a student. I mean, if you're only getting $6,000 per student, maybe it's a little bit more,
Hey.
and you take it to St. Stephen's,
Then you're gonna
that's,
want,
that's not even a drop in the bucket.
you're gonna have to kick in a whole bunch more
Oh,
than
yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Well, I know that
you
the
know,
other party is very strongly AIS, independent school.
Yeah, but also they're saying, that also one of the bills was saying, well, let the money follow the children, only 60% of that money is gonna follow the child. Okay, if you're a person that can't afford it, where are you gonna come up with the other 40%? You know, if you depend on vouchers for your child to go to that school. So, you know, there's a lot of issues in
Well,
there.
yeah, and on
But
that
see,
part,
the other
they'd have to
thing-
look at the sliding scales that the private schools give.
Right, but the other factor is that your rural Republicans are also not in
Very
support of it.
Exactly,
Because the rural communities, the only education system they have is the public schools.
Yeah, okay.
And if Representative Joe Blow from Idaho, you know,
Or
I know that guy.
if he runs, if he goes for this,
he could be
if
in
he
trouble with
goes
his
for
own
this, when he goes
constituency.
back home, hey, he just laid off all his districts.
So what we really need is
employees.
better oversight of places like AISD.
well, yeah, that's
Well,
every,
sure, I mean, it should always be,
everywhere.
it should always be there regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an expense.
It
That's why
was, your
there's-
people voted all the
Well,
people in there.
that's why there's competition, or that's why there's competition.
Supposedly,
Yeah.
See,
And
I-
instead of competition, it should be options.
option.
Yeah, you gotta jump in
that's
here.
what we're
Yeah,
asking.
well, if you go and just online, I mean, you can view all the education hearings online, and you really get some real good information, whether it's from the left, the right, or the experts that are on the bill, just on the bill. And I mean, they come up with some fantastic ideas, but when it comes right down to it, you know, the biggest problem we have is our own elected officials, the Latino elected officials.
And fighting amongst each other.
Exactly.
I mean, it is really sad. And then
Yeah.
you look, I go in there and I look around the room and I'm the only Latino testifying.
Yeah.
Is there something, is that telling you something? I mean, we just say, well, you know, let them do what they wanna do. They're gonna do it anyway. I don't
Well, it
believe
worked.
that.
Yeah, all in
Because we're all
work.
at work.
We
Yeah.
got
It is a
lot of
very
work.
common
No,
thought,
I'm saying,
though.
we're all at work, that's why.
Yeah, well,
Unfortunately, it's a very common train of thought, what you were just speaking of.
well, because it is so, I mean, and I can only, I'm not saying that one voice can change a lot of things, but
the other one.
when I go in there and I sign up for Texas LULAC, that's a lot
They
of
take,
voices.
they sit up and take
Well,
notice.
there's plenty of veteran bills as well.
Yeah, see it when I do it.
And that LULAC is also supporting.
That's
that,
good, that's good.
I like the education bills, but yeah, the veterans bills are good too. Try to look at our time. Do we have time to go with that? Have we talked more about education? Have we covered it enough?
No, I said, no, but, like I mentioned, there are some good bills, for the veterans that are also being proposed, some that talk about education.
Exactly. like paying their tuition
Paying the tuition.
That is good.
to go to college.
So,
For the veterans?
For the
or family?
veterans.
Well, they've already got
Veterans.
the bill already in place.
Veterans.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I'm thinking.
there's already bills,
More.
there's already stuff out there in place.
there's
Yeah,
more.
but
Okay,
it
so
has
like
not
what
passed completely.
other additional services are they gonna be getting?
There is a veteran bill in there that, and I don't remember the number, that they're trying to cut down on the hours that, say that this veteran has X number of hours left and they can pass it on to their children.
Ah, yes.
And they want to cut that down. They say it's 150 hours left. He can only pass so much to his child, and that's not right. I mean, the veterans earn that. They should be able to pass it on to a child, and it's in the book right now. But they're trying to cut some of those bennies off, and I forget that Senator Cody a lot of money. I mean, big money on that, because as we know now, a lot of our young veterans, Iraqi veterans and Afghanistan veterans, are coming back, and they got young students, and yeah, it's going to go for quite some time. So hopefully we can stall that particular bill, kill it somewhere.
Since you gentlemen are versed on it, do you think LULAC's or any efforts to help the veterans will help some racial tensions? Because I know from a homeless man that's not of my own culture said
You mean one of my people?
said that I'm not going to use the derogatory term, but people like me have come here and taken their jobs. And in my mind, I'm like, in my mind, I'm 3 generations from here. But you know what I did to show that not only Republicans, but people in general can have compassion? I gave this man 40 of my $60, 20 to get home, just to show that there's people out there that exist. Like, I let myself, I let my blood boil for 2 seconds when I heard that derogatory term. Because let's not pretend that racism and racial tensions doesn't exist. I don't like to dwell on it, but I like to find solutions to it. But if I don't allow myself to hear those words and let it sting and move past it, then I'm never going to fix things of generations past before me. If I just keep reacting with a machismo kind of attitude to anybody, I'm not going to get anywhere on diplomatic relations, on anywhere.
That's true.
You
But
know?
one thing you have to remember, although LULAC fights for all these bills, it's for everybody. Just because we use the fact that we're the majority, the minority right now, maybe they can listen to us a little bit better. But you know what? If we can better it, it's going to be better for everybody. It makes no difference who's the veteran. He can be African American, he can be
I'm so glad to
Anglo.
hear you say
he can-
that.
No, but think of it that way. Don't, just because LULAC is fighting for something doesn't mean it's just for me. No, it's for us. And see, that's one of the things that we always
That
work.
gave me a little.
Well,
Yes, it's like, hey, the Mexicanos aren't trying to take everything. Look,
No,
we're
no,
trying
no.
to give some
Right,
too.
because as long as it's good for the community, we fight for it. And even in civil rights, when you were talking, as long as it's good for the community, that's what we go after. And a lot of people point at us and like NAACP, they're only for the African American. They're not,
No.
because they can better something, they'll better it for all of us.
All of us. Yeah.
I understand what you're saying today. There's a lot of our people out there that get.
Well,
they
in,
take
in
the-
our race also, as
Yeah,
Fidel
that's
mentioned,
true.
a lot of times we're our worst enemies.
And I want to thank you for coming over to the banquet.
Yes,
the
thank you.
legislative
Good.
banquet. It's a heck of an award to get a presidential medal.
Yes.
The veterans.
from the
What'd you
LULAC
do?
veterans.
You did?
I gotta hang it up.
Yeah.
Did you pawn it already?
No, I didn't pawn it all yet. They wouldn't give you enough.
Why are you not wearing it around your neck?
Well, you hang that. I gotta hang up in the. Yeah, from LULAC to get that kind of thing.
It's kind of heavy
for
too,
you.
by the way.
Yeah, it was, but it turned out not to be pure gold or nothing. So.
Oh, no, I know you done tested it.
No, I'm just joking. I have to hang up but they gave me a proclamation and all that.
But
I hung it up next to my plaque that I got for.
I agree
Being
with
LULAC's
you, though,
favorite white
that
boy there,
I'm
hang
glad
right
that
up.
the Pokies of the world exist.
Yes.
Because, to be honest, one of my neighbors has a Confederate flag hanging.
Yeah.
And if I didn't know my Texas and American history, I live in an area that I know what it's supposed to mean. I know what the innuendo is.
Yeah.
But I walk outside my house, I get my mail, and
neighbor.
I feel myself like,
Well,
and then I
and
say
there you-
hello. But because it's natural, I think that a lot of Mexicanos are like, oh, to hell with Willios, to hell with the negative, very inclusive of ourselves. But then how are we going to get anywhere? But we want equality. But we aren't willing to.
I'd like to quickly tell you about my favorite Confederate hero,
All right.
Colonel Benavides. He whipped ass.
I'm not to say
And then he went on to become a county judge and all that. There was a lot, people don't understand how many Hispanics wore gray.
Oh.
And they kicked ass.
Yep.
They
But
were,
I'm-
Colonel
I'm-
Benavides was,
There also was Tejanos at the Alamo too, by the way.
there was.
You know,
On both sides.
This fallacy.
A lot of
Yes,
them on
so
the other
I think
side.
that a lot of like a lot of Tejanos that feel like
Oh,
we are
okay.
owed something. I feel like, do you remember we were asked to repopulate this area? We were never.
Presidio County,
Sure.
Texas is the oldest plowed fields in America. It would have beat out, what's that place in Florida that's the oldest city in America? It would have beat out there, but the Indians ran them off. They ran them back across the Rio Grande for a while, so. But they kept farming over there. They've been growing onions in Presidio County, Texas since,
It's a beautiful place, ain't it?
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm actually really glad
It
that
is,
to see
really
that
is.
y'all
No,
can
I've
talk
been
so
there.
diplomatically about race and party differences
We've all been
because
there.
And sex.
there's a lot of aspects that you can get the door slammed in your face, whether you're brown or you're female or you're older,
Or you're
whatever, or you're a vet, whatever.
My
you're-
fellow truck driver,
You-
Jesse
you know,
Contreras.
and I'll tell you this, my favorite brand is the R brand. The R brand is my favorite brand, and that's representation.
There you go.
That's a good one.
So I mean, regardless of where I go, if you're representing me, I am gonna go talk to you. Okay, if it's
Me
brown
too.
or white,
Yeah.
it don't matter.
No.
I'll talk to them because I know I'm gonna get something done. If nothing else, I'll have the satisfaction of having been able to communicate.
Can we get an encore on that one?
Yeah.
That was so well put. That was so well
The
put.
latest political buzz is that
Okay, here we
they're
go.
starting a potential recall on one of the
Not our buddy, Dr.
one of our city council, newly
one of
elected
our
city
top
council
10.
members.
I'm gonna take my glasses off.
One of our
She's
top
at it
10.
again?
So, I don't know.
Laura
It's,
Presley?
No.
Oh, not her?
No.
Wait a minute.
On a sitting council member,
Hey.
a recall. There's a recall.
Which one is it?
They'll be out. They'll be out soon.
You ain't gonna let us know, huh?
No.
There's nothing wrong with Laura.
A recall
No,
the
I
actual
know, I like
council?
Laura, but
Member.
Yeah, well,
some
she-
people say she's been pushing
Gus-
this thing,
so
this
they're gonna
recall
give it a Gus
for
bar
so
too,
long
Mike?
now.
You're gonna give it a Gus bar? Or what?
No.
Okay. No, we
Oh, say
can't
something.
say. We can't say. But anyhow, the
He
whole.
don't
the whole-
believe in God.
what?
Well,
Yeah.
I do think the only way that any of the election wrongdoings can come out if the candidate
Yeah.
challenges.
I-
I cannot challenge it as an individual. It's got to come from a candidate.
Ten
And
for.
anytime a candidate can go in there and challenge the way things turned out,
Yeah.
it might not. It might be too far apart right now, but I mean, if they committed some kind of violation, it needs to be straightened out. That's the way I see it, and I've been neutral on the thing. I'm looking at both of them because I do believe in paper ballots,
I do too.
and
And there's an upcoming hearing, or they already had one?
they had one, and
There's another
the
one
judge
coming.
is giving them another
Yeah,
deal, quite a bit of research, and
Yeah,
you
reviewing
have
and
to
research.
Oh, okay.
produce this, and you have to produce that, and everybody's got something to
Sure.
produce, and then they
For
come
Laura's
come-
case, or?
Yeah, Laura's
Yeah.
case. It's not.
I hope she comes out good in it, but
Well,
I
well-
lost somewhere
I
on.
thought-
Not for her, but for the process.
Yeah, the
process.
process
And
itself.
that's what I'm
Process.
saying, that's what
Needs
I'm
to
saying.
be-
It-
It needs to, this is the opportunity that it has to illustrate that there is accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
exactly.
do need to
Exactly.
flush
And
that part.
here's where I hear, like, they say, oh, yeah, basta con esta gringa. You know, I mean, it's not.
No.
It's not. They
No,
don't
no.
understand, they don't understand that the process needs to work.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is that many people don't understand is that Dr. Presley is
Dr.
up here
Yeah.
above everybody, academically and everything. So
She's good on the show, I know that.
She's far ahead before many of us, even think of
Trying to
looking
figure it out.
at what could have.
She's got a big
contributed
double
to that.
wide. Well, what about?
But the issues that she points out are logistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you have more voters than those that voted. I don't know what the issue is
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah,
That's a
She
good one.
lived in
Yeah.
a very split
Oh,
district.
there were more voters that voted that were on the list.
yeah.
The voters or something like that, and I was saying, wait a minute, there's got to be some
Well, I
kind
saw
of.
her
I
stats
cannot
that she
share
sent
the
out.
information
Very
that
good.
I know, but because of the fact that it's still in the court and I'm highly involved with the information, so I'm just kind of just,
We won't push it in.
Yeah, well, I saw the stats that she sent out. They're very good stats. And if you study them real closely, you'll see where she's
you
trying
have
to
another
come from.
question, come on.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
well, yeah, I mean, I do. I wanted to come back to what LULAC also is supporting. That was one of the big things. I understand that you guys are in support of education, or some of the education reform, or some of the education changes. What other bills out there? Are you guys looking at one,
Oh.
or are you supporting in support of? I'd imagine the State Bill 1 is that involving property taxes, the reduction
The
of
tax relief.
tax
Tax
relief. Is
relief,
that one?
yeah.
Is that one of the bills that you guys that LULAC is in support of? And if so, how does that compare with the reduction of the state sales tax proposal that came out?
Yeah,
So there's two bills out there and trying to save money for people.
yeah.
So which one is is LULAC looking for?
You know, without having a consensus of what they're looking at, but if we look at the numbers, and the sale tax is by far the best. I mean, you say, it's instant, it's there, you don't have to wait. Your property tax, okay, so we get 3 to 5% on it. 2 years from now, they're caught up with us with the appraisal system.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's local, the appraisal system's local.
Mhm.
The sale tax will be on, if you're dropping off a 1/10%.
I think they were looking at
It's
what,
gonna be-
2%?
So,
Was it
they're
2%
looking
or
at a certain amount, and it amounts up like $170 a year, something like that. But that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's
to
gas.
someone, you know, to someone that doesn't have $170.
Well, plus for the fixed income. Right now, I have no account on fixed income. We're buying groceries. For example, my wife bought some plates, some plastic plates, a week ago. This week, she bought the same amount, everything the same, was up by $1.24 from what she bought last week.
Wow.
I mean, and if you're on a fixed income, my friend,
Tell
I
me
mean,
about it.
and
Yeah.
you're counting pennies, you're not counting dollars.
You're
See what
right,
I'm
that's
saying?
$170.
Yeah, right. So by that happening, it does help you, in whatever amount it could be. So yeah, I mean, I agree with him 100%. On your
Which one?
on your property tax, for example, say that you save $100 a year
Yeah.
compared to you paying $4,000 already. Yeah, 100 does help. But
Historical
if it was a little bit
preservation
more, it should have been better. And then the way they appraise here is that if a house across the street from you sold for 200,000, then all of a sudden your house goes up by 90% value in valuation.
In Austin?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that.
Well, I thought that. I went to find mine, and that's how I found out how they appraised my house. 90%. They went up 90%.
That's when you take the machismo attitude.
You dang right. No.
Well, I'm glad to see the party take the outreach effort and investment that y'all are taking
No, yeah.
in
We can go
general,
there and-
because like I've said, there are a bigger number of independent registered voters out there than there are registered Democrats or registered Republicans in Travis County. So it's open season, it's out there, and as
I agree.
independent voters,
Independent
especially our young
candidates,
kids,
too.
yeah, and especially nowadays, social media and everything. I find a lot of my nephews in that with like Paul Ryan and what's his name, and
Ron Paul
Ron
and
Paul,
the Pauls.
you know,
Rand
and,
Paul.
Paul
I know,
Bots.
but a lot of people
Oh,
know
the
that.
Paul Bots.
you know.
Paul
So,
Bots.
but the good thing, to me, is that they're involved
And they all want to smoke weed.
in the process, in the political process.
And they'll evolve over time.
Because I think
They're-
if we look
they're
at
thoughtful.
Ferguson, go back to Ferguson real quick.
Right.
The
Arginite
recent,
and-
the recent elections that they had,
Yeah.
they had what? Now they have 3. So again, that can happen here with us as well.
Yeah.
Because we have the electoral power. We just need to get off our seat
And make sure it doesn't get
when you have a
shenanigans on
district,
it.
when
Like,
you have a district council race and the person that wins wins by 2,000, that's that's
it's
And,
pretty,
and we have
pretty
to
big margin.
we have to keep growing our base of the Pokies and the Govinos and the Gabriels and of you two that can look past labels and lines
I
and
was
be
glad to
like,
see it.
look, this is what's going on. You got some help? Yeah, okay, let's talk. And instead of this is how you vote. This is how you look.
Yeah.
You're a female. You're
Come on.
this. You're that. You're not. Look, I'm a human being. Can we just talk? You know, what's my point?
Well, we've changed a lot.
And,
Uh,
and I'm not an immigrant, so.
You get the green card, huh?
And we
I'm
need
not
a
an
Latina
immigrant, I'm an
congresswoman.
American red.
We need a Latina congresswoman, come on.
Yes, we do,
I mean,
definitely.
We're ready for it.
There you go. It might be
Left,
something in the
right, it
future.
doesn't matter. We need one.
And LULAC always opens a carpet and welcomes any and all diverse
Exactly.
opinions
When
and
it's all the same. So it's
it's
all
all
good.
the same.
That's actually seriously very good to know because there's not a lot of minority groups that want anybody else.
We
That's-
take, we're
Not
better
minority.
than, we're better than the Statue of Liberty. You know, bring on everybody, you
Better
know.
than Metro. What are you talking, better than Metro. What are you
Poor,
talking about? How could you
Anglo-
get into Metro?
Everybody, huh?
Whatever, yeah, everybody.
People
you know.
forget just to respect each other as a human being. If
What-
nothing
Because
else, as a
see
human
that,
being.
I know we're running out of time, but I think, I
3
want to
minutes.
commend Councilmember Don Zimmerman for his selection of that one lady to that commission for the Immigration Commission. Because I'm gonna say.
Everybody's giving him hell about
Well,
that.
not only
She's
that,
right.
you know,
Yes, sir.
because I take a stand, I feel that, and I think that this is something that I've seen in LULAC, is that regardless of the difference of opinion, you're always afforded the opportunity to serve and the opportunity to be there.
Exactly.
Now, this lady was just gonna be 1 out of 10 all the time. Now, for this council to take the abusive power that they're sharing as a government, to deny this person that freedom of speech, if you will, I mean, it was really, really going around that. I think that's bad for our city, and it's an insult for us. And as a citizen of this city, a voter, I'd say that was very embarrassing. And I think that the mayor kind of touched on it a little bit, because he said, real shortly, you know, he said, we have to find a better way to address this, not this the way we did
Okay.
it, not
Yeah.
the way we did it today.
So you guys have a convention
Coming
In
up,
Lubbock,
coming up.
In
up in
Lubbock, Texas, last week.
28, 29,
And it can be found on y'all's website?
31st.
it can be
Yes.
found
It's on
once it gets up.
LULAC.org.
When it's up.
LULAC.org, you
By
can
the-
find that
no,
information.
go to the District 12. It's Texas LULAC District 12
Okay.
website, and you'll find it.
And
It's
more-
all there.
and
Click
a
on
lot-
everything. You'll find it on there,
lot
including
more.
the national.
Excellent, excellent.
And it'll be
Yep.
in Lubbock, Texas.
Yes,
Yes.
and you'll find a little bio on me. Watch it. Look out.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we want to thank you guys for coming
Oh,
on.
Gabriel,
We
thank
got
you.
a minute and a half.
We are more than, you know,
We've been wanting to get you on anyway, and now we have even more reason.
Well, but now we could follow up, you
Yeah.
know, on a later date, give some more time.
Well, you know, I'll
We
be
can't.
following
It
up
was
with.
a last minute,
I'll be following up with Gavina because he's still got to take the lead on everything that we know. He's
Will
got
you be out
going.
there on Sunday at the Cinco de Mayo and in Fiesta Shores?
Well,
He will
Surely
be the
you
one
will
with
be.
the sombrero, though.
Hope you
The
come
big
by and
one,
see us.
with the hanging balls.
the organizer from Fiesta Patria was telling me that some folks had complained to him about, I don't know if it was LULAC that had a free booth or the party, I think it was us. And he said, well, they asked me, y'all didn't. They paid, y'all didn't, so.
there you go.
know.
It's all about outreach.
But,
yeah.
but yeah, I think that, it is good that,
We're
we
gonna-
are getting more engaged. Yeah, you're gonna be out there?
He's gonna be cumbiaing.
Yeah.
Pokey, he just don't know it yet.
No alcohol.
I know, that's
and we want to take this quick time to thank
yeah,
Michael
20
Cargill
seconds.
from Come and Talk It, 1370 AM every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 5:30. Listen to what's going on
It
in
was a good
regards
program.
to Second Amendment laws and everything else that's good out there. So, on behalf of all of us, we'd like to thank everybody for being here, and we thank
Yes,
you for,
thank you.
listening to the show. We have a show next week,
Voter
VDR training.
registration.
VDR training.
VDR
So
training.
tune in and catch us on Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah, we go up at 58:30.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking to ourselves?
Yeah, we're talking to.